coming.
Well, hello, Billy Joe.
Justin, what can I do for you?
Well, do you even invite me in, or do I have to stand out there?
Yeah, well, I don't have a whole lot of time. I got to be at KFIK for the Phil Roberts show.
Well, I'll get right to the point, then. I've got a proposition to make to you.
Hello, Jimmy. You're home from work awfully early, aren't you, Ashley?
Oh, yeah, I am. How's Steve doing?
He's better.
I'm glad. I
Sure couldn't tell from the look on your face.
I'm very concerned about Steve and the future. And the way things are going to work out here on the ranch.
Oh, well, Jeannie, don't get down. I'm sure that everything will work out all right.
It has me down. I'm very worried about him. His health's at stake here.
Well, yeah, I know, but...
Maybe you'll understand, Ashley, when you have a child of your own.
Why are you so determined to prove that Ashley isn't pregnant?
Well, she's not pregnant. I just know she isn't. I promised I wouldn't hire another detective. But I'll get proof on Ashley even if I have to do it myself.
Then what?
I'll deliver it to Justin Marshall in person.
I don't understand you, Rena.
What don't you understand?
Why you allow your preoccupation with Justin to disrupt your life?
It's not a preoccupation. I can assure you that my life is not being disrupted.
You were over at Justin's offices this morning when you should have been here working, weren't you? No, you're going to jeopardize your position with World Oil just to get some petty information on Ashley.
Why are you so concerned?
I'm not.
Seems to me you are. Does it have something to do with your previous acquaintance with Ashley?
What are you talking about?
You knew her in college, didn't you?
Just barely.
TJ, I have a feeling that there's something you're not telling me.
No. I simply agree with Vicky, that's all. I think you're being foolish pursuing this business about Ashley's pregnancy. Look, I've got work to do. And so do you. So you better get to it.
I'm going to get Ashley one way or another.
Texas, starring Beverly McKinsey.
Okay, thank you, Benita. Oh, and while I'm here, would you get those budget figures for me? Thank you, I'd appreciate it. Hello, Ricky.
Oh, hello, Mrs. Bellman.
Are you singing on the Phil Roberts show today?
Yes, I am.
Good. I've been meaning to tell you how very much I like you.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
Tell me, you and Billy Joe have certainly done a great deal to help pick up the ratings.
Well, from the last I heard, the ratings weren't all that high.
Well, if you and Billy Joe hadn't been on the show, they would have been lower.
Well, that's what I've heard. Thank you.
How are things going on the show now? I mean, between you and Phil Roberts.
Well, they're all right.
I know he can be difficult to work with. He has a man with very strong ideas about how things should be done.
Well, we did have a few run-ins in the beginning, but we seem to be going our own way now.
He can be temperamental.
Yes. Mrs. Bellman, my manager mentioned the possibility that Billy Joe might be getting his own show.
Yes. I did discuss that with Ruby. How would you feel about that?
Well, I don't think it would really matter to me one way or the other.
You mean you're happy appearing on the Phil Roberts show? Because there's a possibility that you would be joining Billy Joe.
Well, I just don't want to get tangled up in the mess. You know, singing's really a lot of fun for me, Mrs. Bellman, and well, the way things have been going lately, it just hasn't been as much fun.
I understand.
The Phil Roberts show is getting to be a headache, and it shouldn't be that way.
You're right.
Do you really think that there's a good chance that Billy Joe might get his own show?
Yes. There's a very good chance of it.
What kind of proposition did you have in mind?
Well, it has to do with your salesmanship, Billy Joe.
My salesmanship?
Yeah, I've seen some of those commercials you've done for Texas tractors.
Yeah, well, I started doing them about a month ago.
Well, they're very good. You have something special about you, something that makes people want to trust you. I think it's because you're so natural.
Look,
So
Justin, I know you're leading up to something, so why don't you just get to your point?
Well, that's another quality people like about you, Billy Joe, is your candor. You get right to the point.
Yeah, you might do the same, if you don't mind my saying so.
Right, well, of course. Listen, are you aware that I'm reviving my family's old oil company, Marshall Oil?
No, I didn't know about that.
Well, that's why I need someone like you to get the word around. Represent me, in other words.
Represent you how?
Well, be sort of a spokesman for the company. Specifically my Ace High gasoline stations. I mean, you travel the country all around, going on personal appearances, doing commercials.
For your oil company, the Ace High service stations.
Right. There's a lot of money in oil, Billy Joe. Be a lot in it for you. We could be very helpful to each other, Billy Joe.
Yeah?
Yeah. Listen, you don't have to make a decision about this right away, but I do hope you'll think about it.
I will. I'll think about it.
Good, good. I'll get back to you in a day or two.
Okay.
Fine. One more thing, Billy Joe. At this stage of the game, I think it'd be best if we kept this between you and me, okay?
Oh, well, I'll have to tell my sister Ruby.
Why?
I'll tell her everything. She's my manager.
Oh, is she? Okay. Otherwise, just keep it quiet. You know how the press can get with a celebrity like you.
Hi.
Hey, Jenny.
Come on in.
Yeah, how's Steve? Grant tells me he's not feeling it.
Oh, he's much better, thank you. I was just taking a tray of lunch up to him.
Oh, good. Well, I won't keep you then.
Did you come to see Ryan?
Yeah, I've got some papers I want him to see.
Oh, he's not here right now.
Hello, TJ.
Hello, Ashley. How are you?
Well, if you'll excuse me, please.
Yeah, look, I'll leave these papers for Ryan right here on the table. They're important. He'll want to see them.
Okay.
See, you still have some of your same old bad habits.
Yeah, well, some habits are hard to break.
I was just about to go for a walk, so if you'll excuse me, TJ.
Just a minute, Ashley.
What?
I need to talk to you.
What about? I thought you came to see Ryan.
No, I came to see you.
Well, now, TJ, you and I don't have anything to discuss.
I think you'll find what I have to say interesting, Ashley. It may have a big effect on your future with Justin.
Oh, Mrs. Bellman. Hi.
Hello, Ruby.
I dropped by your office and they told me you might be here.
Yes. What can I do for you?
Well, it's about Billy Joe having his own show. You said you were going to get back to me on that.
It's under consideration.
Is that all you have to tell me?
Yes, at the moment. Ruby, these things take time.
Well, how much time? I mean, I got the impression you wanted to move on it right away.
At the moment, it's still in the talking stage. Our program director is taking the proposal under consideration.
Uh-huh. And when's he going to get back to you?
When we make our decision, I'll let you know. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to get back to my office.
TJ, my future with Justin is no concern of yours.
Ashley, I came out here because I care about you.
Don't ever say that to me again.
You don't believe me?
No. And I want you to stay out of my life for good. Now, do you understand?
I understand you're feeling bitter towards me, but...
Oh, you can. Look, we have nothing to talk about. Nothing.
Look, you may feel that way now, Ashley, but you hear me out. I think you're going to change your mind.
I don't want to hear you out. There's nothing between us anymore.
How can you say that?
Because it's true.
Look, I'm not going to bring it up now, but you're going to have to deal with it.
Oh, I've already dealt with it. And it's in the past. And it's going to stay there. Now, will you please leave?
I haven't told you what I came here to say.
I'm just not interested.
It concerns Rena Decker.
Rena?
She's convinced you're not pregnant.
She said that to you?
Yeah.
Why won't that woman leave me alone?
She has it in for Justin.
Oh, I know that. But I figured since she's a big executive at World Oil now, she'd have better things to concern herself with.
She's obsessed, Ashley.
There's nothing I can do about that. And I don't intend to sit around worrying whether Rena Decker thinks I'm pregnant.
Ashley, she's hired a detective.
She hired a detective?
To find out what she can about you. Fortunately, Vicky put a stop to it. But that's not going to stop her. She'll pursue it. You can count on that.
Don't worry about it. I can handle Rena.
Why? Is there something to worry about?
Now, what is that supposed to mean?
Well, if you're pregnant, obviously there's nothing to worry about. But if you're not...
Of course I'm pregnant. And Rena Decker is not going to cause me any problems, and neither are you. I won't allow anything or anybody to interfere with my marriage to Justin.
Yes. Oh, send him right in. Thank you, Joyce. Thank you for coming by, Mr. Robertson.
Sure.
Please, have a seat. My secretary tells me that you are the garage attendant for the building across the street.
That's right, ma'am.
Do you happen to know a Mr. Justin Marshall? His company just opened an office in your building.
I know who Mr. Marshall is.
Oh, you do? And what about Mrs. Marshall? She has dark hair. She's very attractive.
Yes, I know Miss Marshall. She's called down for her car several times.
Oh, so people are called down when they want to leave the building. That's a very good service.
Yes, ma'am.
I guess you're wondering why you're here, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
I have a proposition for you, Mr. Robertson.
Oh?
Does $20 sound good?
$50 sounds better.
You have larceny in your heart, Mr. Robertson.
You can't say I can deny that.
50 it is.
What do you want me to do?
Oh, it's quite simple, but you do have to keep your eyes open.
$50 keeps me wide awake. What's the deal?
Every time Mrs. Marshall calls down for her car, I want you to call me immediately.
I will. How long is this going to go on?
A day, maybe 2.
Okay. You can count on me.
Good. It's nice doing business with you, Mr. Robertson.
Pleasure's all mine.
How's Steve's appetite? A little better?
Yes, and his spirits seem a lot better, too.
Well, he'll be feeling much better once we can make him believe he'll always have a home here on the ranch. Oh, Jenny, I know it isn't easy for you.
Kate, I feel the same way about the situation. I mean, Stephen is heartbroken at the idea of leaving this ranch. What can I do?
Well, convince Ryan how important it is for you to stay here.
I've tried, you know that. Ryan and I even quarreled about it. That's something we've never done before.
Well, I can understand how he feels.
Well, I can understand how he feels, too. I don't want to live here with Justin either.
Well, I'm trying to do something about that.
What?
I'm working on it.
Why so mysterious?
Well, I just can't talk about it right now.
You know where Ashley is?
No, I've no idea.
Jenny?
I haven't seen her, Justin.
Justin? I want to talk to you.
Yes, Grandma?
There's another lease that's still up in the air.
Which one is that, Ryan?
That's another one that Justin was working on before he left the company.
Oh, yes. TJ mentioned this too.
Rena, it's absolutely vital you start working on all these new leases immediately.
Okay, I'll get going on it right away.
Okay, real good.
I have a surprise for you.
Oh, what's that?
I just might get a few more leases going right away.
Oh, it means you have some new leads, huh?
I sure do. There's some property south of San Antonio that looks very interesting. I think we might be able to pull in a lot of oil out there.
It sounds terrific.
You know something, Ryan?
What?
I think I'm going to be better at this job than Justin was.
I like your attitude.
The nerve of him to open his company in a building right across the street from ours.
And how do you think I like living under the same roof with him? He's pretty difficult to put up with.
You don't have to tell me about that. What do you mean living under the same roof?
Oh, Jenny and I stayed at the ranch last night.
Why?
Because of Steve. You don't know?
Something, what happened?
I'm sorry, I thought Graham must have told you that Jenny called you about the whole thing.
I got a message from Jenny this morning, but I wasn't in. I haven't had time to call her back. Is something wrong with Steve?
He collapsed yesterday.
Oh, no.
It's nervous exhaustion from everything he's been through.
Well, how bad is it?
He's all worn out. He isn't eating, and the doctor says he has to stay out of the ranch until he gets his strength back.
But he's going to be all right, isn't he?
Yeah, I'm sure he is. It's just that we can't move him into town right now.
So you and Ginny are staying out at the ranch?
That's right. Under the same roof with Justin.
Oh, boy. That's hard to take. I wonder if it'd be all right if I drove out to the ranch to see Steve after work.
Well, Steve would love that. We'd like it, too.
Ashley and Justin included? I doubt that.
Well, I doubt it, too. But, too bad for them, right?
By the way, Jenny, I never asked about Steve. How's he doing?
Much better.
Well, he'll be fine. He's a marshal. He'll be roughing housing around this ranch in no time.
Excuse me.
Yeah. Well, Grandma, what is it you wanted to talk to me about?
I think you know.
I'm not a mind reader.
What else could be on my mind but the ridiculous price you're asking for this ranch?
You about to make me an offer, Grandma?
You know good and well $5 million is more than...
On the contrary, it's worth every bit of what I'm asking. My price is firm, Grandma.
Justin, you talk so proudly about being a marshal. You're a disgrace to the family.
I'm just trying to make a good business deal. Help you out in the process. I know how much this ranch means to you, Grandma.
Well, since you know that, I think you should care enough to offer me the chance to buy you out for a decent price. But obviously, I'm expecting too much.
I think you are. Ashley and I also feel a great attachment for this place, and with a baby coming, I don't know, the family homestead takes on an entirely new meaning for us.
And that's why you're willing to sell.
Well, that's why I'm asking for a fair price, because it's very important to us, this ranch.
You...
Grandma.
Look, here's what I'm willing to offer.
I'm not wavering on my decision one bit. My price is firm. If you have a counteroffer, just forget about it. Just save your breath. My price is $5 million. Take it or leave it.
Steve. He really enjoyed your visit. Seemed to pick up his spirits, too.
Oh, I hope so. I just hated seeing him in bed like that.
I know. He's usually so active.
That's the only way I've ever seen him. Do you know that sometimes he used to run out to the cabin just bursting with news? He wanted to tell Max about the basketball game, the track meet, anything. Well, don't worry, honey. He'll be his old self soon enough.
I hope so.
What exactly was wrong with him? Did it have something to do with Barrett and what happened when he took Steve away?
Steve's been through a very traumatic experience. But it's a lot more than that. Steve just isn't as secure as he used to be.
Well, then he shouldn't leave the ranch.
Well, the ranch is his home. Always has been his home. He doesn't want to leave it. I guess once he feels that he doesn't have to go, then he'll be up and around again. I'm sure of that.
Are you going to be able to give him that reassurance?
I'd like to, but Ryan says that there's no way we continue to live here. I'm right in the middle, Rena. I don't want to leave Steve. I want to stay with Ryan. And Ryan refuses to live under the same roof as Justin. There's an awful lot of tension now between Ryan and me.
Yeah, I can understand that. But you and Ryan love each other. Now, you know how much he cares about Steve. Things will work out.
Well, is it my turn to visit Steve now?
He was asking about you, Ryan. You've got a real big fan upstairs.
Yeah, Steve's quite a guy.
Oh, honey, I forgot to tell you. TJ came over and dropped off these papers. It must be important because he came all the way out here.
It's funny there's nothing urgent about him. They're just routine office memos. You sure there wasn't something else he wanted?
Oh, well, I didn't talk to him for very long, but you might ask Ashley.
Ashley?
Yes, she talked to TJ for quite a while.
Well, I'll ask TJ tomorrow. See ya.
Jimmy, do you know what TJ and Ashley were talking about?
Hey, how do you think the show went today?
Oh, hi.
Well, you were great.
Well, that's good to hear, but you don't think that the rest of the show was okay?
It was if you liked Bill Roberts. But you know how I feel about him, so I don't think I have to say any more.
No, I don't think you do.
I'm not going to be happy until Billy Joe gets a show of his own, with you as the star.
Oh, that reminds me. Mrs. Bellman was here earlier today, and she spoke with me about that.
About Billy Joe getting his own show?
Uh-huh.
Well, she didn't tell me she talked to you.
Well, you had another meeting with her today?
Not much of one.
Why, what happened?
Well, I tried to ask her what was going on, and she told me the whole thing was under consideration, and it was all up to the program director. Why, what did she tell you?
No, not much. She just wanted to know how I felt about Phil's show.
What did you say?
I told her it was getting to be a real headache.
Well, did you tell her that you'd like to be on Billy Joe's show?
No, I didn't.
Ricky!
But I did tell her that I didn't like the mess, and that singing was a lot of fun for me until what's been going on lately started, and now it hasn't been so much fun.
I just got to pair you up with Billy Joe on that new show.
Yeah, well, he hasn't got it yet. And anyway, I think he still has that crazy notion that I'm partially responsible for Nita's divorcing him.
Oh, he'll get over that. He already is. Look, the most important thing is you just can't stay on the show with Phil after Billy Joe leaves.
Yeah, I agree. And it is getting to be a real pain. But I'm not so sure that Billy Joe is the answer.
Well, what is the answer?
Well, I don't know. That's what I have a manager for. But I'll tell you one thing. When I'm up here, entertaining is a real kick. You know, there was a lady out there in the audience today, and she was caught up in everything I was doing, and it was really great. Now, I really like that.
You're a born performer. Stick with me, kid. One of these days you're going to have a show of your own.
Yeah, well, it can't be too soon.
Okay, don't get impatient. You got to take these things one step at a time. And Billy Joe's getting his own show is the first step. You'll see. It's going to work out as good for you as it is for him. Now, come here. I want to talk to you about a couple of these problems.
Okay, boss.
I don't know what TJ and Ashley were talking about, Rena. I wasn't listening in on their conversation.
How long did they talk? Do you know that?
Well, let's see. TJ arrived right before I took Steve's lunch up to him. And then Ashley came down.
You left him alone?
Of course.
How long were they alone?
I was up with Steve about 30 minutes, and I didn't hear TJ leave for quite a while.
It's all very, very interesting.
Why is it so interesting?
It's just interesting.
Rena, are you up to something?
It's nothing for you to worry about. You've got your hands full with Steve and setting things right with Ryan.
I just hope I can.
Jenny,
Yes, honey?
is there a deck of cards down there? Steve and I want to play some rummy.
They're down here somewhere. I'll find them and bring them up to you, okay?
Okay, great.
Ryan, I'm going to be going now. I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, we'll see you, Rena.
You really have to leave right now?
Yes, honey, I thought I might have dinner with Mama tonight.
I have no idea where those cards could be. Thanks for coming by. Steve enjoyed seeing you.
You're welcome.
Bye. Bye.
Hi, Rena.
Looking for someone, Justin? Looking for your wife?
Have you seen her?
Maybe she's still with TJ.
What are you talking about?
Well, Ginny said the last time that she saw Ashley, she was having this nice long conversation with TJ.
He was here?
Mm-hmm. But I don't think it's anything to worry about. Considering the mysterious past they share, they probably have a lot of catching up. Well, goodbye, Justin. Have a nice afternoon.
Bye.
How did your card game go with Steve?
Well, Steve had a real good time. He beat me 2 out of 3 games.
He always beats me. He's a pretty good rummy player.
Mm-hmm. No kidding. Have you been thinking about our argument we had?
Yes, I have.
And?
I haven't changed my mind, Ryan. I think that we should stay here and live on the ranch for the time being.
For the time being, how long is that?
Well, I don't know. It's hard to say. But I know one thing. Steve's not going to get any better if we uproot him and take him to live in Houston right now.
But that's where our home is.
This is where Steve's home is. Can't you see how important it is for him to stay here?
I know Steve thinks of the ranch as being his home.
It is his home.
I know that, but he'll adjust to moving away. It's only a matter of time, that's all.
You're not even concerned about his happiness.
Of course I am, you know that.
All right, then, I have a suggestion.
What is it?
Settle your differences with Justin.
I can't do that. You know that.
Then I don't know what the solution is.
I've told you we have a brand new home in Houston. We should be living there with Steve.
No, we have to live here.
How can I get this through your head? There's no way I'm living in the same house with Justin Marshall.
Maybe there is no solution.
Yeah, and, I think this is the song that you should sing next time.
Ruby, I've already sung this song twice.
Yeah, and both times you got a great response. Now, I think it's important for a singer to associate himself with one song. Becomes sort of like a trademark.
Yeah, you're right. All right, I'll think about that.
Okay. And, don't wear that vest next time, all right? I didn't like it.
Okay. Hey, Billy Joe.
Hey.
Hey.
Well, I'll think about that stuff, and I'll see you all later. Take care.
Okay. See you later.
So, did you get a chance to talk to Vicki Bellman today?
Yeah, I talked to her. She didn't give me a definite answer, but I think she's leaning in our direction.
Yeah, well, what did she say?
Well, she just said the whole thing is under consideration.
How long is it going to take for her to make her decision?
I don't know. Right now, it's all up to the station's program director. And I guess if he thinks you ought to have a show of your own, then they'll go ahead with it.
Well, if they don't all make up their minds in a big hurry, somebody might just snatch me up.
Snatch you up?
Yep, her.
Look, Billy Joe, I know it's very flattering to be considered for your own show, but I wouldn't let it go to your head.
Now, you know I don't have a swell head, Ruby.
All right. What are you up to?
I just got a very important phone call from somebody who was very important, and he offered me a job as a celebrity.
Who did?
Justin Marshall.
Justin Marshall? Well, isn't he the guy that was connected with all that trouble at World Oil a while back?
Mm-hmm. But now he's forming his own company, Marshall Oil.
Well, what exactly do they want you to do for Marshall Oil?
They just want me to be spokesman for the company.
Spokesman? Well, let me have the details.
Well, they want me to do TV commercials just like I do for Texas Tractors. And they want me to travel around, make personal appearances. It'll all be for Ace High service stations.
Sounds terrific.
I think it's going to be pretty good. But for now, Justin wants to keep it confidential. So this is strictly between you and me.
Okay. Spokesman for Marshall Oil. I like that.
Where the hell have you been?
What's wrong with you?
I asked, where have you been?
I went for a walk.
Alone?
Of course. What's the matter with you?
Well, I thought maybe you took a walk with T.J. Canfield.
Oh, there you are, Mama.
Hello, Rena.
I went by your office and they told me that I might find you here.
Mm-hmm.
You're working awfully late, aren't you?
Yes, I'm going over the program logs for some of our shows, and then I have to check the budget figures.
Will you be long?
Why?
I thought maybe we'll have some dinner together tonight. Come on. I know that you were upset with me earlier today.
You are a master of understatement. The idea of trying to hire Hardy to spy on Ashley Marshall.
I know it wasn't the right approach.
There is no right approach for what you're trying to do.
I know that.
Do you?
Yes, and I'm sorry about the whole thing.
I hope you mean that.
I do, Mama. I just came by from the Marshall Ranch.
Oh, did you go out to see Steve?
Did you know that he was sick?
Yes, Ryan called me on the phone about something else today, and he mentioned it. How is Steve?
He's looking a little pale, and he hasn't had much of an appetite lately. Ginny seems to think that it's going to take a little while before he's his old self again.
Well, after what that boy has been through, it's no wonder he's in such a state.
Yeah, and to make things even worse, Ginny and Ryan are having problems as was to do with Steve.
Ryan indicated as much on the phone today. The Marshall Ranch isn't a very happy place to be these days, is it?
Certainly not. Things are really hopping over there. Can you imagine Ginny, Ryan, Kate, Ashley, and Justin all under the same roof?
Now, if only Justin and Ashley would move back into town where they belong.
TJ seems to be getting in the act, too.
What do you mean?
He was out at the ranch before I even got there. Don't you even want to know why I think he was out there?
All right, you're probably going to tell me anyway.
I think that he went out there specifically to see Ashley.
Now, why do you think that?
Because he drove all the way out to the ranch to give Ryan some papers, and Ryan said they weren't even urgent, and then Ginny told me that TJ spent all of his time talking to Ashley alone.
Rena, you have got to stop this petty conjecture and concentrate on your job.
I'm concentrating on my job, Mama. I am determined to be the best production manager of an oil company in the entire state of Texas.
I'm glad to hear it.
Still think there's something fishy going on between TJ and Ashley. And I know that Justin is very curious about it.
Well, for heaven's sakes, now what is this nonsense about TJ?
Is it really nonsense, Ashley? He was here this afternoon.
He came to see Ryan.
But he didn't see Ryan, did he? He saw you.
Well, he couldn't exactly avoid it. I mean, I walked into the living room, and there he was.
Just ran into each other?
Exactly. He came out to see Ryan to give him some papers.
Well,
Ryan wasn't here.
That in itself is very odd.
Why?
The fact that he would come all the way out here without phoning first.
Well, now, Justin, he knows Ryan. He doesn't have to phone him first. He doesn't stand on formality.
Ashley, you missed my whole point. He'd phone Ryan to find out if he was here. That is indeed if Ryan was the person he came here to see.
Well, now, I'm sorry, Justin, but I can't answer for T.J. Canfield's quirks.
What did you two find to talk about?
Nothing. Hello. I mean, that was about it.
You're very quick with your answers, Ashley. You mind telling me why he just happened by the office and offered some flimsy excuse about wanting to see me?
No, I can't.
I'll tell you what I think. I think he was there to see you.
That's ridiculous.
You don't think I have any cause to wonder about you two, is that it?
No, I don't. I mean, I hardly even know the man.
Well, let's talk about that.
About what?
About your relationship with him before.
Justin, we have gone through this before. I knew him in school.
How well?
We met each other through a mutual friend, and that is about the extent of my relationship with TJ.
Ashley, I don't like the idea of him meeting with you. Do you understand that?
We were not meeting with each other.
Ashley, is that true?
Yes. And I think that you're just throwing all this at me because I've been arguing with you about all the money you've been spending at the office.
What?
I've been so worried about all the money that you've been spending at the office. And I know I've been critical. I know I've been fussing about everything, and I'm sorry. Sorry.
I guess I may have spent a little more money than I should have at the office.
I know that I've been critical, and Justin, I love you so much.
Do you?
Mm-hmm. And I want you to stop all this nonsense about TJ.
Well, I guess I just let that get out of hand, I guess. Well, Rena just got to me, that's all.
Rena?
Yeah, she was here. She told me that TJ was here and that you and he went off on a long walk somewhere, and
Well, now, that's ridiculous, and you know better than to put any stock in anything that Rena Decker says.
I know. I shouldn't have let Rena get to me, I guess. I know it's important. It's you and me and the baby that's coming. Actually, the three of us are going to set Texas on fire. Marshal Oil is going to light up the sky.
Ryan?
Yes, Kate?
I need to talk to you.
Yeah, I know what you want to talk about.
I doubt that.
But it has nothing to do with my discussion with Jenny about Steve?
Indirectly, it has. I want to sell you the mineral rights to the ranch.
I don't think I heard you correctly.
Yes, you did. I want to sell you the mineral rights that I own.
Why would you want to do that? You don't want to turn this ranch into an oil field, do you?
No. That's not what I want. But it's the only way I can get the money to buy out Justin. Now, I'm going to stipulate that there'll be no drilling for 5 years. And by that time, Steve will be old enough to be able to face leaving the ranch.
You're doing this for Steve, huh?
And for you and Ginny. There's no other way, Ryan.
Wonderful person, Kate, but don't you think you're overreacting?
No, I don't. I think it's absolutely essential for Steve's well-being and future welfare to stay here.
You're really something, you know that?
I love that boy. And this place. It's been my home for most of my life. I'm doing what I have to do, Ryan.
Oh, Kate, there must be some other way of raising the money to buy the ranch from Justin.
$5 million? No, I don't think so.
Where? $5 million? He wants that much for his shares?
He knows how much it means to me.
Well, there's just got to be some other solution.
What? Tell me. Ryan, will you buy the mineral rights from me?
Can't raise that kind of money, Kate. I wish I could.
Well, there are companies in Houston that will buy them. If I have to, I'll go to them.
I can see you've really made up your mind about this, haven't you? Okay, let me see. Maybe there's some way I can work something around this. If not, I'll talk to Grant and ask him to buy the mineral rights from you, okay?
Thank you, Ryan. Now maybe I can get some rest.
Kate, we can't let Justin get away with this.
He's got me this time, Ryan. There's no way around it.
Join us each weekday at this time for the continuing story of Texas.